These are the baddest, meanest adventure bikes 2026 has to offer, packed with power, tech, and plenty of attitude. But here's the real question. Can they actually survive the dirt, or are they just flashy toys for the showroom? We're taking 10 flagship beasts straight into brutal off-road terrain, same tires, same conditions, zero excuses. This isn't a marketing stunt. This is survival of the toughest. By the end, only one bike will earn the crown as the ultimate hardcore off-road machine. And believe me, the winner will blow your mind. Number 10, Suzuki V-Strom 1050 DE, the reliable underdog that finally got serious. For years, the V-Strom was that sensible friend who always brought snacks, but never wanted to party. Not anymore. The 1050 DE came to fight dirty. That 1037 cubic centimeters V-twin, pure liquid torque, 106 horsepower delivered so smoothly you could thread a needle while climbing a mountain. The low-end grunt makes throttle control effortless when you're dancing through loose rocks and sand. Suzuki finally gave this thing proper off-road teeth. 21-inch front wheel, 19-inch rear, spoked rims that can take a beating, 190 millimeters of suspension travel, wider bars for leverage when things get sketchy. The electronics actually work without trying to be your mother. Gravel mode that lets you slide. Switchable rear ABS that won't panic when you're backing it in. But here's the reality check. At nearly 540 pounds wet, it's still carrying some extra weight to the party. That KYB suspension feels plush when you're cruising, but start hammering through big hits and deep whoops, it starts waving the white flag. The V-Strom 1050 DE is a massive leap forward for Suzuki, but in this brutal company, it's the first to find its limits. Coming up next, the machine every other bike gets measured against. But does the legend still have what it takes? Number 9, BMW R 1300 GS, the king that might be getting too comfortable. Here it is, the bike that basically invented this whole category. The BMW R 1300 GS. Every other manufacturer builds their adventure bike to beat this one. That's how legendary this machine is. The latest generation? Pure engineering porn. That 1300 cubic centimeter shift cam boxer pumps out 145 horsepower and 110 pound-feet of torque so smooth it makes your morning coffee routine look chaotic. On gravel roads and fast dirt, this thing feels unstoppable. That low center of gravity from the boxer layout, it gives you supernatural balance at low speeds. The new telelever and paralever EVO suspension setup delivers stability that borders on witchcraft. Dynamic electronic damping. Hill start assist. 6 riding modes. It's like riding a computer that happens to have wheels. But here's where the legend shows its age. At nearly 550 pounds, the GS demands respect and serious muscle. When the terrain gets truly punishing, that refined composure turns into bulk. It's an all-terrain cruiser that'll cross continents without breaking a sweat. But in a pure off-road knife fight, it's a little too civilized for its own good. The GS remains the king of versatility, but raw off-road dominance? That crown might be slipping. You've probably never seen the next bike push this hard, but we're about to find out what that Red Wing badge really means. Number 8, Honda CR F1100L Africa Twin. The legend you can always count on. That Red Wing badge carries serious weight. Dakar-tested reliability. No-nonsense performance. The kind of bike that starts every morning and never asks questions. The CRF 1100L. Africa Twin doesn't scream for attention. It just quietly gets the job done. Mile after mile, year after year. That 1,084 cubic centimeters parallel twin puts out a modest 101 horsepower. But here's the genius. The smooth fueling and excellent traction management make it feel way more capable than the numbers suggest. Honda's semi-active Showa EERA suspension is pure magic. It reads the terrain and adjusts damping in real time. Washboard trails? Handled. Deep sand? No problem. It keeps you planted when lesser bikes are bouncing you into orbit. The ergonomics are spot on. Narrow waist, low-slung fuel tank, perfect balance. It feels like Honda studied every adventure rider on the planet and built the bike they actually wanted. But there's a catch. At around 530 pounds, it's tuned more for endurance than aggression. The Africa Twin is that reliable friend who will never let you down on a cross-continent journey. But when the terrain gets violent and the pace turns rally fast, it prefers composure over chaos. A phenomenal adventure partner. Just a touch too polite for this fight. Next up, an American wildcard that nobody saw coming. Yes, we're talking about Harley-Davidson going off-road, and it's not what you think. Number 7, Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250 Special. The American wildcard that silenced the doubters. A Harley on a hardcore off-road list? I can hear the keyboard warriors typing already. But here's the thing, the Pan America 1250 Special didn't just surprise people, it shocked them. That 150 horsepower Revolution Max 1250 engine delivers relentless torque with a power band wider than Texas. The throttle response feels more European than American. Crisp, immediate, no drama. The real party trick? Adaptive ride height. This thing automatically lowers when you stop, raises when you roll. Combined with electronically adjustable Showa suspension, it makes this big Harley more approachable than physics should allow. On open fire roads, it tracks straight and stable, even at stupid speeds. The confidence is infectious. But reality has a way of humbling everyone. Once you dive into tight, rocky sections, that nearly 560-pound weight and long wheelbase start showing their cards. The Pan America proves Harley can build a serious adventure bike, but in this brutal off-road shootout, it's more bruiser than ballerina. Coming up next, a bike that doesn't even exist yet, but it's already making waves. The rumored KTM that might change everything. Number 6, KTM 1390 Super Adventure S, the ghost that's already haunting the competition. Now for something completely different, a bike that isn't officially here yet, but the rumors are too loud to ignore. The KTM 1390 Super Adventure S. Based on the new 1390 LC8 engine platform, this thing is expected to produce around 160 horsepower. That's rocket ship territory wearing knobbies. The S variant gets 19 17-inch wheels and semi-active WP Apex suspension. Translation: phenomenal road manners and stability at speed that'll make your eyeballs water. Expect top-tier electronics, lean-sensitive traction control, advanced radar cruise, a TFT screen bigger than your laptop. It's the ultimate adventure tour for riders who want speed and sophistication. But here's the problem. In the kind of gnarly, technical off-road test we're running, that smaller front wheel is a major handicap. It's the fastest tool in the shed, just not the most rugged. When you're clawing through rock gardens or mud pits, speed doesn't matter if you can't get traction. Next up, the former king of horsepower. But can brute force still win in 2026? Number 5, KTM 1290 Super Adventure R, the former king that still throws haymakers. For years, this was the undisputed sledgehammer of the ADV world. The KTM 1290 Super Adventure R, that 1301 cubic centimeter LC8 V-twin, cranks out 160 horsepower and 102 pound-feet of torque with the kind of urgency that can make a long straight disappear in seconds. This is a rally weapon disguised as a touring bike. The WP Explore suspension has massive adjustability and 220 millimeters of travel. It offers serious bottoming resistance and a planted, connected feel through loose terrain that makes you feel invincible. The 21 18-inch wheel combo and rally-inspired chassis geometry give it incredible stability when the pace gets stupid fast. But even legends age. The 1290 feels tall and a bit top-heavy. It demands skill and stamina when navigating slower, more technical terrain. Newer midsize machines have achieved similar capability with far less weight and intimidation. The 1290R remains a legend. But even legends have to prove themselves all over again. All right, we're halfway through, and the bikes are only getting more serious from here. The top 4 represent the absolute elite, the bikes that live for this kind of punishment. That glowing red thing on your screen? Yeah, that's the subscribe button. Hit it if you want more bikes that eat terrain and spit out gravel. We've got some surprises coming that'll blow your mind. Now, let's get back to the carnage. Number 4, Yamaha Tenere 700 World Raid, the middleweight that punches above its weight class. Here's our wild card. A bike that technically bends the rules, but earns its place among the big dogs. The Yamaha Tenere 700 World Raid, yeah, it's a middleweight at heart. But this special edition has serious heavyweight attitude. That 689 cubic centimeter CP2 engine is small compared to the monsters on this list, but its linear torque curve and bulletproof reliability make it an off-road favorite. The World Raid's 23-liter dual fuel tanks, beefed up KYB suspension with 240 millimeters of travel and rally-style ergonomics give it serious endurance and range. On the trail, it's the definition of confidence. Light on its feet, flickable, begging to be ridden hard. The lack of complicated electronics is actually a blessing. You control traction the old school way, with your right hand and your brain, but power is its Achilles heel. On steep climbs or soft sand, it has to carry momentum where the heavyweight engines simply grunt their way through. A phenomenal pure off-road tool, but slightly outgunned in this heavyweight brawl. Coming up next, the British Challenger that came to fight, and it brought some serious weapons. Number 3. Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Pro. The British Challenger that came to fight. In the number 3 spot is the machine that proves the Brits still know how to build proper motorcycles. The Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Pro. On paper, it's a powerhouse. That 1160 CCT plane triple delivers 148 horsepower with a distinctive thumping character that provides excellent traction and throttle feel. It doesn't just make power, it makes the right kind of power. 220 millimeters of Showa semi-active suspension travel, 21-inch front wheel, 249 millimeters of ground clearance. This thing is tailor-made for serious off-road work. The standing ergonomics are excellent, and the bike's mass, while substantial at over 540 pounds, disappears once it's in motion. The traction control and cornering ABS are among the smoothest in the segment, stepping in subtly without killing the fun. Through rocky climbs and rutted trails, the Tiger feels poised and balanced, like it's floating over chaos while everything else is getting beaten to death. It doesn't have the lightweight agility of smaller bikes, but it delivers a planted, bulldozer-like confidence few machines can match. For riders who want big power, comfort, and genuine off-road poise, the Rally Pro hits a near-perfect middle ground. But there's still 2 bikes left. And the next one? It's the modern benchmark that every other manufacturer is trying to beat. Number 2, KTM 890 Adventure R, the modern benchmark that lives in the dirt. Standing tall at number 2 is the machine that doesn't just flirt with the dirt. It lives there. The KTM 890 Adventure R. This thing hits the sweet spot that every other manufacturer is desperately trying to find. 889 cubic centimeters, parallel twin with 105 horsepower, tons of low-end torque, and a chassis that feels like a big dirt bike. The low-mounted fuel tanks keep weight perfectly centralized, giving the 890 uncanny balance and flickability for its size. The WP Explore suspension, fully adjustable and rally-tuned, devours everything from sand whoops to boulder fields without flinching. But here's what really separates the 890R: feedback. Every input feels direct, mechanical, honest. You know exactly what the tires are doing at all times. It's a bike that rewards aggression, encouraging you to go faster and hit obstacles harder. Sure, it sacrifices some highway comfort, but out here, it's a scalpel. The 890 Adventure R is the benchmark by which every other ADV bike gets judged for true off-road performance. But there's one bike left, and after days of abuse, after every rock garden, water crossing, and vertical climb, one machine consistently did the impossible. Number 1, Ducati DesertX Rally, the Italian weapon that rewrote the rules, and that brings us to the winner. After days of punishment, after every rock garden, water crossing, and vertical climb that would break lesser machines, one bike consistently did the impossible. The best heavyweight adventure bike for hardcore off-road in 2026 is the Ducati DesertX Rally. Forget everything you think you know about Ducati. This isn't a sport bike pretending to go off-road. This is a purpose-built rally weapon that happens to wear Italian colors. From the moment you see it, the intent is crystal clear. 910 millimeters seat height, 250 millimeters of front suspension travel, fully adjustable KYB closed cartridge forks that scream serious business. The 21 18-inch Excel wheel combo and reinforced aluminum skid plate drive that point home. That 937 cubic centimeter Testastretta engine puts down 110 horsepower with perfect throttle mapping and torque delivery that feels tuned for standing climbs and deep sand. The Rally version adds lighter carbon components, taller suspension geometry, and improved cooling for desert endurance. On the trail, it's raw and demanding. The suspension is firm, feedback is direct. The ergonomics are built for riders who attack obstacles, not avoid them. But that's exactly why it wins. While others try to balance comfort and control, the DesertX Rally commits fully to performance. It's the bike that looks at a rock wall and says, "Is that all you've got?" It's not just Ducati's redemption story. It's the new benchmark for what a hardcore adventure bike can be. The 2026 Ducati DesertX Rally is our undisputed hardcore off-road champion. So what do you think? Which of these titans would you take to the edge of the world? Drop your pick in the comments below. And if you want more bikes that eat terrain and laugh at breakdowns, smash that subscribe button. Still got fuel in the tank? Click the next video right here. Until next time, ride hard and ride safe.